So I'm wondering, when you get these anxiety feelings, is it related just to being late, or does it depend on the situation? Like if you're late for class as opposed to late to something that maybe doesn't matter as much?
Okay, I think that looking back on some of the situations that I have been anxious about, I would say it has to do when there's more importance attached to the event that I'm going to, I would be more anxious about it. In undergrad, I did definitely skip class a decent amount, but if I was on my way to a class and I was going to be late, it would make me anxious to walk in after it had already started, so I would just not go. So I mean, I would be out of my bed, already walking in winter maybe, and I would just go get coffee or something and just not go to the class because it made me anxious to walk in late. So in grad school now, I leave really early just to give myself a lot of time. I'll get up sometimes if I have a 9 o'clock class. I might get up at 7:30. It really only takes me 25 minutes to get dressed and get ready to go.
And how do you get to school?
I walk.
Okay, so it's not like you have to worry about waiting on a bus
No.
or your car necessarily. I know when you said you go to work, you drive. So what if one day when you're going to work, on your way there, your car broke down? Where would your anxiety level be?
It would be pretty bad, I would say. My work is very understanding because I am the Thursdays that I go and drive in the morning. It's a school and they are staffed, so if I wasn't able to go, they would be able to get around just fine without me. So I would feel a little bit less anxious if I was, say, missing work, because they would be very understanding, but I would be horribly anxious if I was driving in and going to class.
Okay.
So
even if it was the same situation,
yes,
and your car broke down?
Yes, I would be much more anxious if I was going to class. And I don't know if the job that I'm going to, I like it, but
maybe not as invested?
No, not as invested at all. I'm doing it because the kids that I work with have gotten attached to me.
Okay.
But if I couldn't make it for some reason, I wouldn't feel a pressure to go. But when I go to school, I'm so vested in that.
Okay, so your perception of the situation that you're going to does heavily influence.
Yeah, and I never thought of it like that. But it's definitely true. And I want to say definitely that there is kind of just a baseline anxiety anywhere I'm going. But now that I think of it, there might be some Friday nights where I might be driving into the city to go see my boyfriend, and I'll get angry in the car or just be a little anxious because I'm in traffic and I have set in my mind, okay, I want to get there at 6 and it's already 6:15, but I can usually calm myself down and just say, it's not a big deal, I don't have anywhere to go. So I still have that nervous feeling, but I can sort of control it.
Okay.
But if I was to be going somewhere, if we had tickets or
meeting someone,
it would be bad, much worse.
Okay, so you don't have that ability to calm yourself down. Why do you think that is?
I think that I get the thought in my head that, oh my gosh, I have to meet this person, I have to go to class, and for some reason I just really not, I don't get easily embarrassed, and I'm pretty outgoing, and I don't mind, I wouldn't say being in the center of attention because that's not something that I strive for, but I will talk in front of people. I don't have a problem public speaking, nothing like that.
Okay.
But I have this fear of walking into class late. I have no idea why. I don't think there should be a reason, but I do, and it's dreadful to me to think about. I don't know why
So you're in graduate school. Have you ever seen anyone else walk into class late?
Yeah, and imagining if I was, I'd be like, oh, I would be so embarrassed if I was walking in right now.
Do they look embarrassed?
No, usually they're just like, sorry, and they sit down and it's not a problem. And maybe, again, thinking about, okay, I've been getting these grades and I want to keep my grades up, and this is so important to me, grad school, and for the first time, I haven't missed a class, so maybe it's partly that too.
I'm not advocating that we should practice you missing classes or getting to class late, but I think in situations where maybe you overslept, maybe your car broke down, maybe you got stuck in traffic, regardless of what the situation is, we can work on using that same self-talk that was able to calm you down before.
Well, that would be good, because I think I definitely place way too much importance on some things. I mean, not that school isn't important, but I could definitely relax if I'm just going to be a few minutes late. It's okay. I know it's okay, logically, but I just feel so nervous if I'm going to be late to class, which, like I said even before, if I was going to be late, I just wouldn't go.
So what are some things you could say to yourself? If you are stuck in traffic, you look at your watch and your class starts at 9 and it's already 9:02, what are some things that you could say to yourself to help calm down?
Oh, I don't even know where to begin, because I'm imagining the situation right now, and I would just be yelling at people and honking and getting very angry.
So your thoughts would be on the other end of the spectrum.
They would be so far, and I think the first thought that would come into my mind is, how am I going to contact the professor to let them know I'm going to be late? The second thought that would come into my mind is, are they even going to believe me when I tell them that I was stuck in traffic, or, I overslept? I'm sure they would believe me if I said I overslept.
But what if they didn't believe you?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world, but I would feel horrible, because so then it goes back to, I'm striving for these really good grades, and I want to do so well. So if I'm late or miss a class for some reason, I feel that just gives a professor all the more reason to doubt me. When in the future I might need that freebie. So I try to think, I never used to think like this, and now I try to think future plans more.
Right.
Okay, I was sick one day for one of my classes. I had come to class, I wasn't feeling well, so I sat in the hallway for maybe an hour of class or halfway through class, and during the break I just decided that I really had to go home, and I just couldn't stay there anymore because I just was really sick. And I thought, I'm like, oh man, now I just used a freebie, my one free kind of get out of jail free card with classes, because we can only miss one without a grade reduction. And then I thought, what if something happened, my car broke down, I'm really sick later on in the semester, and I have to miss another class. And I know there's circumstances that you can't plan for,